Wait, let me start like tennis players when they're playing rugby. So this is how I would tape for some stability for tennis players. So the first thing we're going to do is measure the tape that we need, and you're going just kind of maybe 1.5 inches up from that sort of pointy bit on the elbow, and then again about 1.5 inches just below the elbow, and you're going to cut that. And then most important thing to do is round off those edges. It just means that when they're running around, they're not going to get any chances of kind of catching it and the tape coming away. So the next thing you want to do is you want to fold it in half, and then as it's folded in half, without being too harsh on that fold, you just want to go down the center so that you're creating kind of like 2 strips in that middle, but leave a good amount of tape at the end. And then you're going to turn it over, and you just want to rip kind of below those 2 split areas so that you've got your nice kind of anchor at one point, and then again exactly the same on the other side. Have their elbow kind of a little bit bent, so they've got a bit of a bend at the elbow, and then you're going to that marker that you found again that's about 1.5 inches up from that pointy bit of the elbow, and you want to take your first anchor off, and then we're going to stick that one down, add some heat so that it gets nice and sticky. And then this is the kind of fiddly bit. You want to take each of those center strips off, trying not to touch that sticky area, and then really carefully kind of maneuver that tape around. You are going to have to touch it a little bit, but that's okay. Just try not to touch it too much, and you kind of hug that, again, that pointy bit of the elbow you want to hug. Bring that around. And we're putting about 50 to 75% stretch in it. So if that's 100, you're just dropping a little bit, dropping that down, and then that final anchor can come off. And then again, chuck on some heat to make sure that it's nice and sticky. When they straighten their elbow, you should get those nice kind of creases. And then when they go straight, again, all nice and stuck down.